Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, how's everyone doing? So, today, looking at a topic when it comes to Trek that I'm sure people have thought of, but maybe, I'm not sure. In the case of Sarek, aka Spock's father. Was Sarek ashamed of Spock being half human? Honestly, you could, say, context of the show and films and all that, you could say that he was partially bit. However, in my belief, that he went from realizing, say, I don't like the fact that, you are, but I think as the series would go on, his views would change. Perhaps we need to give a bit of detail. Sarek was first introduced in Journey to Babel, where it's like there is a moment in the episode where Spock's father, Sarek, is almost at death's bed.
Sarek understands my reason.
Well, I don't. It's not human. Oh, that's not a dirty word. You're human, too. Let that part of you come through. Your father's dying.
And, basically donate your blood away. However, he ends up donating his blood, and in a way, they have a bit of a moment together.
Do you want to know how I feel about your logic?
Emotional, isn't she?
She has always been that way.
Indeed. Why did you marry her?
At the time, it seemed the logical thing to do.
Heck, there are moments, like in the show, where in the films, like where where it's young Spock, and he's just like, he looks so human. And I believe the case with it is, Sarek was a Vulcan who was, put in charge of relationships between Vulcan kind and humans. So we have a bit of groundwork work to go on when it comes to, say, him trying to understand human culture because of his human wife. And I also believe that, Sarek as a character, he was never really happy with Spock and the fact that he decided to join Enterprise in a way because, he had ideals of him wanting to join the Vulcan science, become a Vulcan science officer or become fully part of the culture. Heck, in one of the novels, Vulcan's Glory, which there will be a topic on eventually, it goes into the bit of details about, him having to go see his father and all that. And, at times you can realize, they do not have the greatest relationship at times because, although Spock tries to, when it goes back to, when Spock, in the younger years for Spock, he is trying to move away from his human ways, mostly because he's trying. I believe the reason he was always trying to move away from his human ideas is because he is trying to either, be a great Vulcan integrate in the culture and all that. However, eventually, I believe, thanks to the power of seeing, like, in Star Trek The Voyage Home, I believe after, like, say, Sarek realizes, like, say, oh,
you are my son. Besides, I'm most impressed with your performance in this crisis.
Most kind.
his friendship with his fellow colleagues on Enterprise is really what makes.
As I recall, I opposed your enlistment in Starfleet. It is possible that judgment was incorrect. Your associates are people of good character.
They are my friends.
Yes, of course.
Spock, not only a great Vulcan, but a good individual. How I've not really seen that his friends really help him, make him a better individual. However, also believe as the series goes along, especially in Star Trek The Next Generation, there is an episode titled Sarek, where Sarek is revealed to have the Vulcan version of dementia, Bindi syndrome, where basically your emotions are high-strung in a way.
What happened?
I saw you crying.
I did not cry.
I was there. I saw the tears.
You exaggerate, Captain. I recall only one tear.
So you were emotionally affected by the music.
That is not possible.
You still haven't answered my question, Sarek. Is it logical for a Vulcan to cry?
It was late.
There's a moment in the episode where Sarek and Captain Jean-Luc Picard mind meld. And although Sarek had mind meld with many people, especially with many other characters, including Captain Kirk, I believe that Sarek, that after having melded with multiple people, that he has realized, like, say, hey, maybe my son really is onto something with these humans. Who's to say? Although I do believe the answer, to give a definite answer, is I believe that maybe he, at a certain point, he perhaps didn't like that his son was half Vulcan, but I believe that Sarek would eventually realize, I still love my son. I still love Spock. But that is how I feel, and that's how I see it. What do you all think? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.